Now we've got a good old Aqua Style 620 aquarium unit. These used to be really popular back in the day. For some reason it's just got a blue light on it. Maybe it's just the way that it's set. Anyway, a nice full spectrum light would be good. Now fish keeping is 50% water quality, which I'll just check. And if you ever want to get your water quality checked, just make us a video so we can see what's going on in the tank. But we also want to see what's going on with any bits and pieces that you might have, what fish foods you've got, water ages. So make sure you sort of show us all your stuff, and then we can check up your water, make sure it's all right. And then it's 50% food quality. So for example, this is very, very good quality food. That is very good quality food. I'm not such a fan of your good old goldfish flakes. So if they're getting good quality food, then you sort of can't go too wrong. Some of these plants are starting to look a bit how you're going. You find these fake plants sort of last for about a year, and then they start looking crappy. 2 years and they're pretty much done. So there's sort of two options for these plants. One is potentially put them outside, and then the sun will sort of bleach off the algae, and you can often get more life out of the plants. Otherwise, just chuck them out and replace them every now and then. But these ones are well and truly due. Now, we've got a little cichlid in here, a little electric yellow. We've got a rainbow here, salmon rainbow. The tank could definitely do with some more fish. With a tank like this, it's sort of important to keep it relatively well populated. Otherwise, you'll find that the fish hide a fair bit and won't really use the tank. So if it was up to me, I'd get some more fish. Probably wouldn't be looking for cichlids as such, because it's a relatively small tank for cichlids. So maybe some nice barbs or something else to go in here. So a nice big angel here. But adding some extra fish to this tank certainly wouldn't hurt. This aquarium has plenty of oxygen, which is something I definitely like to see. And then this looks like a real poly filter. So that's very good quality media. Underneath there is some matrix and some noodles. And then over here, we've got some more matrix and noodles. So the filter's set up really quite well. Let's give that a good clean now. Give it a water change. And our test results are going to be available now. So basically our KH is good, our GH is good, our pH is slightly low but good. We'd really rather it be higher. Our phosphate's very high, which means we could do with some water changes. There is a little bit of ammonia in the water. There's no nitrite, and the nitrate isn't too bad, it's up a bit. So all in all, the water quality is fairly good, but could definitely do with this service. So now I'm just giving the tank a bit of gravel clean. And it's really good each time that you give your tank a bit of a service. It's good to rearrange some of the rocks and plants. It really gives the fish a new environment to explore. And it also gives you an opportunity to sort of clean in and around where any ornaments might have been. So just going through, getting any crap out of the gravel. Now this biological media is very dirty. So the fact that that's holding a whole lot of dirt really wouldn't help with our ammonia or nitrate levels. So giving that a good clean in water I removed from the fish tank is going to be a great way of flushing out all those organics. It's quite cold in winter. It's important we don't change any more water than about that. And we want to use a little bit of warm tap when we actually refill it, because we don't want to get a cold flash. And then we really want this biological media cleaned out a bit more regularly, because I mean that's very dirty. I'd rather it not collect so much waste before it's cleaned. Inside every pump is an impeller. So it just looks like this, and what you want to do is just give this impeller a clean and give the housing a bit of a clean. And then what that does is make sure that the impeller is spinning nicely. So we just pop that back away in there, and that'll make sure that our filter's working well. So the gravel's all clean after a gravel clean. The filter's all nice and clean. I just fully cleaned it out. It's all been cleaned in water from the fish tank, not water from the tap. Now that's poly filter. That stuff's like magic. So poly filter, that's this stuff here, really doesn't need to be replaced until it turns black. So that's totally fine. The filter's been all cleaned away and ready to refill. If this was my tank, I'd be pretty keen to get this light fixed, because you like to have a nice light to enjoy your fish. Now, just checking what there was in the code here. There's some prime water ager, which we've got to use every time. Very good quality water ager. Now, we've got Amazon KH and Amazon GH. Now, that is very good for this angelfish, but not so good for the cichlids. So, the cichlids sort of require higher pH more than the angel requires lower pH. So this product is right for the Amazon. It's not really right for the cichlids. So if I was, if this was my tank, I would consider getting some either African or general. I'd get some general KH, and then I'd have no problem using that up. Then next time, maybe get the African, or we want to go for harder water due to the fish that are in the tank. So just keep an eye on them, because the pH is really a little bit too low. The fact that I just did a water change means that I've probably bring the pH up, but I would definitely ask that the pH and KH is looked at, because definitely not right at the moment. So I would want that monitored, and I would want a higher pH and KH additive added to what's going on. Now we've got some algae fix. Algae fix shouldn't really be needed unless you've got too much algae. And if you've got too much algae, that would just be because your light's on too long, or you're getting too much direct sunlight. So that would be good to control that. You've also got some sort of plant fertilizer, which obviously you don't want to use, because right now there's only fake plants. It is normal to go through phases with your aquarium. So you go through plant phases, not plant phases. So we wouldn't really be using those. This here helps to clear cloudy water. So if you ever get cloudy water, you could use that. So basically that's the main product of value that we have here at the moment. So other things you could consider getting, in my normal repertoire, the probiotic food could be something you could consider. The probiotic food has the probiotic bacteria in it, which means when the fish poo, the bacteria in the poo eats the poo. That's your African GH, which I'd consider getting in the future. That's your general KH, which I would definitely consider getting in the future. The Algae Max wafers are really good, because you can chuck one in there for your slower scavenging fish. You definitely wouldn't need that right now, but in the future, I'd think about adding some catfish to the tank as well. There's a whole lot of stuff you could add to that tank. I would definitely want some more fish. And Vugel's quite a good product if anything's going on that may stress your fish. So being aware what's available, and basically the fish look great, but I would request the water quality kept an eye on, because it isn't ideal for the cichlids right now, even though they do look fine. Because what happens with fish is their immune systems allow them to look good, and then over time the immune system fails, and then sure enough the fish can get sick. The fish that might look nice in here, Pictus cat would look good, Hoplo cat would look good, some clown loach would be nice. Getting some extra fish in here would be a good idea. And then the other thing to be aware of with these tanks is be careful whenever you move them, because that's one sheet of glass. It's actually really important that it stays flat and level. If you move it from one place where it settles and you put it somewhere else where it's slightly different, you'll find the give is basically zero, because if there's any movement that way, then they tends to crack here. So because that's one bit, that creates leverage. So with these tanks, it's really important that you keep them nice and flat and level.